Hello everybody and welcome to the HiFiMusicSource.com YouTube channel. In this one we're looking at the REL Carbon Special. It was reviewed with two exceptional pairs of loudspeaker from Kudos and from Serhan Swift. We'll talk about these speakers later in the video with the REL subwoofer. But there are YouTube videos of both of the loudspeakers on this channel as well. So I first heard a REL subwoofer at the Birmingham Audio Show in 2017. On that occasion it was a REL T5i, which is a little baby box. It was presented with the Zhern 14 DS loudspeakers. They're the iron ones, like an iron cabinet. So those loudspeakers were designed with a subwoofer in mind, because their frequency rolled off around about 100 Hz. So a subwoofer was part of the design of the loudspeaker itself. So the fact that Zhern chose REL to market their loudspeakers says much for REL's reputation in the subwoofer market. Since then, however, REL has revolutionised the ranges and the product offerings it has across its portfolio. The REL Carbon Special is the culmination of many of these learnings in the last 5 years. So we had Rob Hunt come from REL to help me set up this REL Carbon Special a couple of 3 weeks ago. And he talked through the journey of the REL Carbon Special development.
Today we're here to show you about the Carbon Special. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about the Carbon Special because it's called a Special for a reason. Yeah. Started life as an 812. Most people think that it's just a question of putting a new driver and away you go, you created a new model. That doesn't happen. And this is a perfect example of showing exactly how that seriously cannot happen. Previously, in the last Series S, we had a special edition version of an existing model of an S5. It sold out globally within hours, literally. And it was a strictly limited edition. But that was easy to do because it was based on a model that we just literally we got lucky and it worked. Yeah. When we introduced the new amplifier range into the new products, it was clear it wasn't going to work. So this started as an 812. Yeah. So we introduced the new carbon driver into the same box and amplifier, chassis, etc. Didn't work. Sounded rubbish. So then we changed the amplifier. Still didn't sound right. So then in the end, we realised we had to change the box and essentially make a complete new product.
So this REL Carbon Special subwoofer features a third generation Black Widow carbon fibre 30cm driver. This is powered by a next gen 5 digital power amplifier with a claimed 1000 watts of power. That's a kilowatt. The driver boasts a 10cm fore and after stroke to shift the air in the room with ease. This means the Carbon Special has twice the power of our recently reviewed S510, and it has a larger passive radiator at the bottom. As I say, facing downwards at the bottom of the cabinet is a new bespoke 30cm passive driver, which is made of a slightly different carbon fibre. This augments the bassline delivery and the floor engagement of the subwoofer. So at the back of the REL Carbon Special there is a high level input, which is a direct signal from the power amplifier to the back of the subwoofer. The REL Carbon Special can be configured with the airship wireless system if preferred. So the REL Carbon Special can be placed in an array, which means they stack them one on top of the other. They're often connected in a threesome, and the screws and the braces are included in the boxes. So just finally, the REL Carbon Special is quoted to roll off -6 dB at 19 Hz. This is the frequency that the subwoofer can support down to. So this is basically crazy low if you think about an organ pipe being around about 30 Hz. So this is going very low indeed, and this figure's fairly academic because it's conditional on the room and the layout and all the other bits and pieces in the room. So, but that's the quoted figure for the subwoofer. So the Carbon Special has a piano black finish. It features 12 lacquer coats that REL is renowned for. The lacquer supports the rigidity of the cabinet. Softly polished steel handles on both sides are provided to shift the 39 kilos of weight of this whole cabinet. So in the UK at the moment, the REL Carbon Special is priced at £3,799, and we're in July 2023 at the moment. Okay, so just a reminder then, in setup, we've got the Nutrix speak-on cable in the back of the REL. Now the setup process follows a defined system that Rob Hunt, who's the Grand Lama of subwoofer placement, follows. But I know enough to know that with my REL T5i, for example, if I place the T5i closer to the wall, I get about 3 dBs more volume from the subwoofer. And if I put it in the corner, I've got 2 walls, and that's 6 dBs. So that's the process that you follow in placement. The key thing about the REL Carbon Special is I've got so much power here, as you've seen in the setup in the room. Speaker placement is relatively academic, really. Finding the correct phasing initially for the subwoofer is one of the most important processes that Rob adheres to. And this is where we make sure that the phasing of the speaker, of the loudspeakers, is in synchronization with the subwoofer itself. And for that we use a track from this Sneakers, this is a famous CD, the Sneakers film soundtrack. It's quite difficult to get hold of, but of course I've got one. And you choose track 4, which is a track called Cosmo. And it pulses just in the background gently. And you switch the phasing key at the back, left and right, to find the correct phase for the subwoofer and the loudspeakers. So for the purposes of the review, I have the Titan loudspeakers around about 3 meters apart, and I'm normally sat across there about 3 meters away. The REL has ended up being roughly in the middle of the 2 speakers, about half a meter from the back rear wall. As we said in the review video for these Titans previously, you know, they're just solid, they're very fast, and they're just punchy in the bass. They extend down to about 40 Hertz. So they're easily getting a decent sound with the Moor amps and this particular cable. Having set up the subwoofer using our tried and trusted method from Rob, I've then really gone to my relatively bass heavy reference tracks like 2049 soundtrack, the Blade Runner soundtrack. There's a track by Benson Boone called Ghost Town, which I really enjoy. I'm also using Teardrops by Newton Faulkner, which is the cover of the Massive Attack track. And it's pretty clear I'm getting a very high level bass response from this combination. There's so much power in this subwoofer, it could probably take the tiles off the roof of this building. However, it's in the quieter tracks that the full scope of this Carbon Special is revealed. So I'm turning the volume down to about 9 o'clock from the 10 o'clock setup that we used. And if I take a subtle piece of music like Ben Howard's Every Kingdom, which is a wonderful album, there's levels of detail below the 40 Hertz that these isobaric Titans can get to that are revealed by this Carbon Special. And it's really quite a privileged listening experience. We get the same sort of effect with the Serhan Swift MkII Mark II loudspeakers that we had a couple of months ago, and that's when this Carbon Special arrived. These Serhan Swift loudspeakers offer the same exceptional level of detail, even from their modestly sized cabinets, and their bass extension goes down to about 45 Hertz. So the support from the Carbon Special is certainly adding to that soundstage and that platform. Closing thoughts then. This is clearly a magnificent piece of equipment, there's no doubt about that. But in my review space, I feel it's a fraction too big. I've compensated for that by turning the volume down quite low. I'm clear in my mind, however, that this subwoofer can offer the best pound for pound upgrade that you can make to your hi-fi system. If you think about expensive loudspeaker cables, power cables and other interconnects, yes, the Carbon Special is expensive, but in the context of this system with this sort of power amplifier, preamplifier and the sources that I have, this is a wonderful upgrade to the system. Overall then, if money was no object, I would unreservedly want one of these REL Carbon Specials. I'm pretty clear that if you've got a decent pair of speakers like this, that have an exceptional soundstage anyway, detail and timing, this is the vehicle for lifting that experience up just another level. And for that reason, it's an outstanding piece of equipment.